Welcome to another one of my recaps for fantasy football. We had a great week 2, looking forward to week 3, so let's get it going. Start off, I lost to Hank Hernandez, 133 to 63. Not an awesome showing there. Hank Hernandez off to an awesome 2-0 start. He's killing it with the big 3 of Jamar Chase, Taylor, and Mahomes. Me, on the other hand, I'm a Frankenstein combination of Notre Dame's defense and Florida's offense, with only best QB in the league, Lamar Jackson, getting above in double digits for me. Switching over to Team Windex versus Karimi Beige here. Windex, they almost came in last place to the points, but got some unexpected production from Juwan Johnson, someone I did not know existed before this video. Karimi Beige is also off to another hot 2-0 start here, almost as hot as Justin Herbert, who is instantly still reaching for his Instagram thought girlfriend, Madison Beer. Moving on to the next game here, we had Don't Mess With Your Young Ho beat Mug Brock the Castbowers by almost 50 points here. For Don't Mess With My Young Ho, all I have to say is love your neighbor, especially when in Rome, as those three guys, Love, Neighbors, and Rome Odunze, scored 82.38 points, almost as much to beat Brock the Castbowers. Looks like the National Guard hasn't stopped all the crime in DC, as they were certainly mugged by the hose here. Gotta clean up those streets a bit more. Moving on, we had Will Fuller House beat Team Griffithshaw 132 to 100. Noah's really pulled out an impressive performance here as GM, getting a lot of unexpected production from Drake May and Javonte Williams, and some expected production from Christian McCaffrey. Team Griffithshaw, very solid team. As we'll see in a little bit, he has the most points scored in the league, but has been sitting some good players like, I don't know how to pronounce his name, and J.K. Dobbins here. Moving on, Sancho got the tight win, moved to 1-1 over Eddie, but wasn't happy with his QB production after a 2.8 point performance from J.J. McCarthy. So he dropped him and picked up Peyton Manning, the number 2 QB this season from the Colts. Wait, sorry, I have to check my notes again. Picked up Daniel Jones, the number 2 QB this season, so watch out going forward. Eddie, on the other hand, he has too many QBs. Baker, Bo, and Kyler. They all had good weeks, but not great weeks, and he had a solid performance, but couldn't carry out the win here. Finally, Golden Taste dropped to 0-2 versus the Slumdog Millionaires. Slumdog Millionaires pulled off a great win to right the ship, led by Jaden Daniel. And after the win, he dropped Joe Burrow faster than ABC dropped Jimmy Kimmel. Golden Taste, tough week, especially when a couple of your best players are Bears players. But I'm going to the Bears game later today, so go Bears. Speaking of the top of the hour, Kirk, just such a shame what happened. Real tragedy. Luckily, his injury only sent him out 2 weeks, and Christian Kirk is projected to play this week. And if he has a good week, he might be picked up from a lucky team. But all joking aside, the other Kirk, such a shame, real tragedy. He really deserved better. I hope Kirk Cousins gets to play in the NFL again. But also, all human life is sacred. Violence is never okay. You can't get me fired from my job. Alright, moving on. Some other fun stuff here. We got my favorite stuff. Looking at some Excel here. So this is our team standings right now. So by wins, we have Hanging with Hernandez in the lead here, and I don't know why I didn't pull in the wins here, but these two are 2-0. Everyone else here is 1-1, and then these two are 0-2. But really, if you look at the points for here, which is a better sense of who's doing well right now, got Jack, Gian, Noah, Luke atop here, and we got me at the bottom. And we see points against. We have some unlucky fellas like Tom, who's 0-2, is just getting murdered by the points, and Jack has good offense, also has good defense. I think what's interesting here, go back to the points for, is maybe me having 0 moves might be the reason why I might be doing poorly. While everyone else has had plenty of moves. Tom, of course, in the lead with 9. Greg doing a lot of moves with 8. Now we'll go into some interesting things here. Number of top 25 players drafted. As you might expect, people with the highest amounts, 0.4, also have some of these top players here. There we go, 2, 3. Tom only has 1 top, but it seems like he's being a good performance across the board. Steve only has 1. Woodley, interestingly, has 0, but still has more points for than me. Looking at us because, I have some bad players here, we'll go into that. But I also have, a couple really good players. So top 5 QBs, we'll go into it, see if that matters. I have a top QB, but also some here. Then we got some top 10 running backs got across the board. Top 10 receivers, that's where Jack and some of these top people really shine. Top tight ends. Woodley, interestingly, has 2 of the top 5 tight ends on his team, but 0 of the top 25 players. Maybe not a strategy to repeat in the future. So if we go into some of the points data here, what we're looking at here, if we refresh ourselves with our people who got paid the most, let me increase my screen here. Jahmyr Gibbs was the highest paid person here, but is not a top 25 player, only 27 points. Saquon is a top 25 player. Bijan, going down the list here, Justin Decker and CeeDee Lamb. We have a couple interesting things. If you look at the points for it, obviously very early, but a couple of the bad ones here are my players. Gentry, 0.23 points, definitely one of the lowest of the top highest people. And then the only person that's worse is AJ Brown, my other player here, who got 6.5 points. So kind of crazy here. But if we look at the top QBs, kind of looked at both the production of the top 5 drafted QBs as well as the top 5 overall here, and we'll see that Herbert, if we go to the points, you see I have infinity points per drafted here, as Daniel Jones has just been killing it, just got picked up by Sancho, so watch out. Josh Allen's doing well, Patrick Mahomes, but Herbert sneaks in there as doing well, and he was only drafted for $1 by Green Bay, so great job there. Obviously Joe Burrow, who was drafted for a lot of money, has not been doing so well. If we come over and look at some running backs, we'll see the top 10 here. As I kind of mentioned, everyone's doing pretty well except for Gentry here and Chase Brown down here, everyone doing well. But running backs where it gets interesting, where if we look at the largest to smallest here, look at our top 10 running backs. We got some people, a $1 Javonte Williams, a $1 Travis Etienne when I drafted him for $50 last year, and the reason why I lost. A $4 J.K. Dobbins. We got some steals up here doing well. James Cook only $29, so interesting. Chuba Hubbard. Same with receiver. There are some steals up here, and again we look here. Everyone done pretty well up here, and then we drop off Nico Collins, AJ Brown, Drake London. Some of these guys in the 40s and 50s haven't been performing that well. But if we sort largest to smallest here, look at our top 10 receivers. We got a lot of great players here. We got Sancho picked up Quentin Johnson. Infinity again doing well. Slumdog Millionaires picked up Wendell Robinson, people I've never heard of before. Jack, I was mentioning, his bench. I don't want to try to pronounce his name again, but he is actually a top 10 receiver here. Keenan Allen for $1. We got Rome for $3 up here. Zay Flowers, what a steal by Jack. So a lot of interest. The top are still, people we expect to be around the top, but there's a lot of good players in here as well. And finally, just looking at some tight ends here. This is kind of where it gets pretty messy here, where a lot of top tight ends. Brock Bowers been doing okay. Kittle, obviously injured. Trey McBride doing okay. Singapore, fine. Trey Hawkinson, who I have, is doing horrible, but, in a way, still better points per than these guys, which is interesting. Taylor Warren, great pickup here. Largest, smallest. A lot of these guys, you see, James actually has the 2 best on his team. I'm not sure if that was when I look at it, just dropping one and picking up one, but that's interesting. Tucker Kraft and Zach Ertz. Juwan Johnson here. We got Dalton Kincaid as Infinity as well, so doing a lot of work here. But yeah, that is everything I have. Super interesting. Hope you enjoyed that. See you guys all soon.